Today, we're going to be working on a measurement project by building a box. Specifically a box for the lightsaber that we built earlier. What we want to is create a box that will hold the lightsaber, but yet allow it to have a viewing port on the top. We're going to do that using a piece of regular standard poster board. But the first thing we need to do, we need to know our measurements of our lightsaber to know how big to build the box. So we're going to use standard inches, and we want to leave a little bit of space on either end and a little bit of space on both sides. So we're going to make our box 10 inches long by 4 inches wide. That will give us plenty enough space. And to do that, we're going to be drawing lines on our poster board. And then we'll make cuts using a scissors or utility knife, and then we'll have bends, or what are called folds, that will create the sides of our box. So let's get started. We want to try to center our lightsaber in the box, in the center of our poster board, so that we can start in the center and then fold everything up from the outside in. So we're going to make it 10 inches wide. So, centering our ruler. On our box, we can move our lightsaber out of the way. And next we're going to start making some marks. Now remember, this is a measurement activity, so we want to be accurate. So let's go. We're going to be drawing right in the center of our poster board. Let's make a dot at 0 and a dot at 10. Now if you notice, I'm using a silver Sharpie on my black poster board. You can use any color poster board. It's completely up to you. So let's draw a 10-inch line. And then go to one side. And we said we wanted it to be 4 inches high. What we're drawing is going to be the bottom of our box. So let's go 4 inches up. Now we want to make sure we are in the same general location here. So that is it. And we are going to want to draw our line for our 4-inch box. Then we're going to want to go back up and draw another 10-inch line. For a dot for 10 inches, we want to go up 4 inches. So we can draw our 4-inch line. And then back up and draw our 10-inch line. Now what we have is the bottom of our box, 10 inches by 4 inches. Now what we need to do next is we need to draw our sides. We want them to have enough space that when we lay our lightsaber there to go above our lightsaber. So we're going to make our height on our box 3 inches. So we need to draw another rectangle on each side for the sides of the box. 3 inches. So we're going to 3 inches out, and we're going to move our lightsaber out of the way. We're going to extend. Sorry about that. I hit the camera. We're going to extend our line out. We want to make sure we get at the same place. So we're going to extend our line out to that 3-inch mark, and then we're going to connect them. Now again, this is a measurement activity. We want to make sure we get everything drawn correctly. Now that's going to be the right side of our box, and we need to do the same thing with the left side of the box. So we want to come out 3 inches, and then we're going to connect them. So now we have our sides of our box. Now what we need to do is we need our front of our box, which is going to fold up. Now to do that, we want to put again our same 3-inch height, coming down this way. So let's come this direction for the front of our box. 3 inches. And 3 inches. And then we want to connect this. And remember, we said it was going to be 10. So it should be 10 inches across there. Okay, that gives us our 2 sides we're going to fold up and our front. Now we need to do our back and our top because we want to have our back piece, just like our front, that folds up, but then we need to have another piece on top of that folds over top. So first things first, let's draw our back piece that folds up, which is going to be 3 inches. 3 inches on this side. And then connect them at the back. That gives us our 2 sides and our front and back. Now we need to add our top. So our top is going to need to cover this same section as our bottom, so it's going to be 4 inches by 10 inches. So it's going to be 4 inches above. So we draw a 4-inch box for inch. We do the same thing on this side for inches. And then we're going to make a line to connect them. That gives us our top. So now, if you're having a hard time visualizing this, we can mark these. This is going to be our right side. This is going to be our left side. This is going to be our bottom. This is going to be our front. This is going to be our back. And this is going to be our top. Now, we're going to fold in, and fold over. The problem we have is we're going to have edges sticking together, right? With nothing holding it. So what we want to do is we want to go back to our left and right side. We want to add what are called tabs, which will fold in and give us something to connect either with glue or with tape to hold things together. To do that, we're going to come in a 1/2 inch. And we're going to put a mark. And then we want to come in another 1/2 inch. And we're going to go with an angle. So let's draw our line. And then we're going to go at a 45-degree angle to make it easier when we cut it out. And we're going to want to do that on both sides. So we're going to go 1/2 inch up, 1/2 inch in, 1/2 inch in. Draw our line. And then make our 45-degree angle. And again, these tabs are going to make it easier to hold things together. So we want to come 1/2 inch up, 1/2 inch up. Draw the 45-degree lines. Now as you're doing this, you may think, boy, he's going too fast. You can stop the video at any point in time to draw your lines and then restart it. Go at your own pace. What that's going to allow us to do now is we're going to be able to fold up the sides, fold the front, and then fold the tab over top of it. Do the same thing. Fold the tab, fold the back up, fold the tab over top of that, either glue or tape them. Then we will do a fold on our top. And we need to have the same thing where we had tabs here. We're going to need to have tabs on our top to be able to fold to hold it in place. So let's go up to our top. And we want to go 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and then a 1/2 inch in, a 1/2 inch in. Draw a line. Draw our 45-degree angle. 1/2 inch in, 1/2 inch in. Draw our line. Draw our 45-degree angle. 45-degree angle. Now that gives us on the side, but we're also going to need to have a tab on the top edge as well. So we're going to need to come up our 1/2 inch. Draw a line. Next, draw a 45-degree angle. Notice how our 45s line up all the way across. So now we have all of our tabs where we're going to fold our sides up, fold our front up, fold our tabs over top up. I'm going to use tape to fasten it. Fold our back up, tape our tabs. Fold our top down, and fold our tabs down. Next step. Well, the B will be to cut out all of our lines. So we have just our area that we're going to fold for our box. To do that, you can use a pair of scissors or you can use a utility knife. When you get done, you're going to have just the outside edges of your box template cut out. All right, our next step is to cut out our template. I'm going to be using a utility knife. You can also use scissors. To use the utility knife, what you're going to do is take your straight edge on your outside pieces. And you're just going to cut the outside edge of your lines. You're going to follow the lines that you drew with the utility knife or scissors. You're going to go around the outside following each line. Notice how I'm going over mine twice to make sure that I've got it cut. I'm taking my time because utility knife is very sharp. I don't want to take a chance of my hand slipping or cut myself. Remember, always safety first. And again, if it's easier for you to use a pair of scissors, you can always use a pair of scissors on this as well. In fact, sometimes even after I use the utility knife. I will go back over it with a pair of scissors. Remember, your tabs that you're cutting out are going to be folded over to help give you something to fasten to hold your box in place, make it more substantial. Again, there's no need to go fast on this. Just take your time and make nice even cuts. Your template will come out nice and easy. And if it doesn't, you can always take a pair of scissors and trim off what you need to trim off. And then there's no right or wrong. I can't remember if I did this one down here or not. I don't think I did. No, it doesn't feel like it. All right, now I made my cut. See how my template wants to come out, but there's a few spots where it's still stuck. There's my template all cut out. All right, so now we're going to move our tools out of the way, put the lid back on our Sharpie so it doesn't dry out. Move the rest of our poster board out of the way to where we just have our template. Now to fold this, I'm going to need a ruler. And I'm going to use standard Scotch tape. But now the one thing that I didn't do on my template, when I fold my box up, I want to be able to see my lightsaber through the box top. So now that I have my template out, I'm going to turn and I'm going to cut out a viewing area out of my top piece. And we said the top was going to be 4 inches by 10 inches. I want to leave 1 inch space all the way around as a picture frame. So to do that, I will simply take my ruler and I will put a mark at 1 inch. Actually, let's do a half inch, half inch, half inch, half inch. And then I'm going to come in from this side a half inch and a half inch. Look at that. I guessed correctly on that one. This one's a little off, but that's okay. Half inch. Half inch. So now I'm going to line up my dots and draw my line for my framing. And then I'm going to follow my same procedure using my utility knife. I'm going to cut out the center area. And there is my viewing area. When I get done, I should be able to see my lightsaber. All right, now I have my template cut out. Now it's time to do my folds. I have my tape. Set my tools aside. I'm going to need a ruler. And I'm going to fold everything in so that all my markings are on the inside. So my first step is to go to my top. I'm just going to use the straight edge of the ruler to bend it up to where it's at a 90-degree angle. And see how I'm just very easily sliding my hand back and forth to make a fold. Come down to the next one. And do the very same thing to make sure I've got everything all lined up straight. Let's see how it's starting to take shape. So I'm going to come down to my tab. Let's do that from the inside. I'm going to spin this around. I'm going to do the same thing. Hopefully, I have this in the center of the camera so that you can see how I'm doing this. It's a little easier. I think you get the hang of it once you start doing your folds. You'll see that they're all pretty much done the same way. Oops, I forgot to take my barcode off the front. All right, gonna turn it, and I need to do my tabs on my top. Can't get my finger underneath that. There we go. All right, that should be all my tabs. All right, so let's turn it back around. And I'm going to start with my front and my right side. The idea here is I'm going to fold it up and tape it. So let's put my tape here where I need to it. I'm going to put my tab on the inside so the tab doesn't show. Start by just simply getting our corners taped into place. I should have taken my barcode off before I started, but it made it a little easier. It'll still come off, but I'll do that after I get it all done. And then my top is going to fold inside of my box. Now, as you can see, my lightsaber goes inside. I have a viewing area in the top that. I could go back and cut a small piece of plastic to put over top of that, to cover that over, or I could leave it open. I could also put foam down on the bottom to give myself a cushion where that would bring that up a little bit. But that is our lightsaber box. And as you can see, I need to go back and fold these down a little bit more to keep them from popping out so that they will go down inside. And there you have it. A simple box to store the lightsaber or anything else if you have something else that you wanted to build that box for. And you wouldn't have to cut out the viewing area. You could leave that solid to give you a solid box. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it was helpful. If you did, please click on the like and the subscribe button, and then the notification bell, so that you can be notified whenever a new video comes up on the channel. It helps us a lot when we get those likes and subscribes for creating new content. I hope you liked it. You have a great day, and we'll see you next week on Take Apart Engineering.